Here we are at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's last coliseum, for the running of the Sharpie 300 as we get set to go short track racing in the Target Series. Michael Sanders in the 60 has the pole for tonight's race. 2 is outside the 33 is Steve Larker. Then TJ Hanley in 3rd, James DeCurley in 4th, rounding off the top 5, Gatlin Downey. Then 60 of Hunter Powers. 7th is Juan Garcia, 8th is Jake Galloway, Christian Parker in 9th, and Jay Jefferson rounds out the top 10. Then we have Marcus Yepes, and then Code Luigi, along with Justin Heath and Isaac Nichols. Then Jennifer Buford, the points leader, and Jose Fernandez. Then Adam McDowell and Patrick Smith, along with Alexander Rowe and Joe Jefferson. They have Roland Cook and Jeff Bright, Roland Emmerich and John Gambit. Then there's Wyatt Walker and Max Anderson, Alex Stewart and Jim Gambit, along with Marcus Sachi and then Levi Shones. Then Joe St. George second in points, about 50 points behind Buford for that points lead. We have a lot to make up here tonight after starting towards the back. Jason Larker on the 4 will be to his inside. They have Eli Bright and Jonathan Buford, Tim Randolph and Luke Rainey, Steve Morgan and Michael Ferris, John West and Colton Young running up the field final row. Justin Zidell in the 6-2s outside the 9 of Jonathan Rains. That's your 42-car lineup here at Bristol. Michael Sanders has the pole. He leads the green flag after this starting command.
On behalf of the many great folks at Bass Pro Shops, Tracker, and MB&A, gentlemen, start your engines!
Business as usual today, buddy. Nice and easy. Your seatbelt's a little tucked for you, buddy. You're ready to rock and roll. Buddy, be ready here now. Feel that thing out real good here for the first lap or so. Make sure you got a good feel for it.
Green flag at Bristol for 45 laps. Sanders and Steve Larker on front row. Sanders gets clear to the race as they come off 4 to complete lap 1. Sanders will lead it as it's a battle for second. TJ Hanley in the 44 to the inside of the 33 is Steve Larker. Larker trying to use that high lane run to get off, but Hanley has the shorter way around the track, trying to use that to his advantage. The race through 3 and 4 still is side by side, allowing that 60 of Sanders to pull away. Hanley just edges the 33 that time at the line for a second position, but still cannot quite get by him. Larker hanging tough on the outside lane, but that time's going to lose it. Hanley clears. He's up to second. Gatlin Downey's going to try and go for third. He'll take it easily. Garcia going to try and get to 4th. Parker going to try and get to 5th. As the 33 will fall outside the top 5. He's outside the 40. Back here, Luigi gets a little bump up the track from Nichols. He'll fall back. And everyone trying to find their way down the line. Steve Larker in the 33 possibly just found it in front of that 7. No, Nichols drives it hard. Jefferson will get underneath Luigi there for a top 10 spot. That's 8th. Now Jeff Buford, your points leader, going for 9th in the 62. Trying to gain points on Joe St. George in the 20. Start at the back end on the outside lane. Everyone going to try and find a hole down low here. Try and get down. Steve Larker from the 2nd position now back to 8th. He'll possibly fall outside the top 10 if he keeps fading on back. But he does have a hole behind Jennifer Buford right here if he can get into it. Ooh, that might cost him right there if he could not get into it that time. The 09 might try and take advantage of Patrick Smith and get to the inside. But I don't think he has enough for a run to do that. Steve Larker does get down line in the 9th position. So from 2nd to 9th for Steve Larker. Look up ahead to the race lead. Michael Sanders has pulled away. Hanley, Gatlin Downey, and Juan Garcia trying to run him down. Single file in the draft. Those are 2 TriStar cars right there. Hanley in the 44, Garcia in the 19. Garcia has a bid for 3rd right now. Is Gatlin Downey in the 52, just a little bit slower than that 19 car. Christian Parker in the 40 trying to latch onto this battle for 3rd. He's right now 5th in number 40. Isaac Nichols up to 6th. Jay Jefferson is 7th. Jennifer Buford 8th. Steve Larker back to 9th. And then there's the 09, the 82, the 32. Code Luigi stuck on the outside. He gets down line, but in the 12th position outside the top 10. They have definitely caught Michael Sanders in the 60. They've run down just a little bit right here. They come down the back stretch. 35 laps to go this time. Michael Sanders is focusing ahead. He has clear racetrack in front. Behind him, it's a pretty good distance back to the 44 of Hanley. TJ is about half a second behind, a little bit more than that. Now in this race, it wasn't a factor in the truck race, but lap cars might become a factor in this Target Series race. It's just a little bit longer, about 8 laps longer. So it'll be interesting to see, does the leader catch the tail end of the lap traffic, and does that play a factor, an issue? Joe St. George in the 20, I see back here, is right on 37th on the racetrack, trying to get by Joe Jefferson and some others that are stuck up top, but not the performance he's looking for. He's trying to gain points on Jennifer Buford. St. George right now 37th. He's going to be 36th this time. He gets by the 30 of Joe Jefferson. Jennifer Buford in the 62 up to 8th. So obviously varying there, and Jennifer Buford might be able to open up her points lead by a ton of points. TJ still trying to run that 60 down, but the gap is barely dwindling. He's gaining a few hundredths, maybe a few thousands each time by. It's just not enough, though, to catch that 60. But once again, a little bit later in the run, someone could possibly save their tires a little bit more. You could see a different run happen there at the end. TJ is hot off his Gatorade Cup Series win at Darlington in the Southern 500. Dominated that race, leading the most laps. He's trying to get to victory lane in the Target Series at Bristol. It'll be his first win of the season. He's won every Target Series season there is. Season 1 he won at Daytona. Season 2 he won at Charlotte. Season 3 he won 2 races. Season 4 he won a race. And of course, this season has not been the season he was looking forward to. He's down towards 30th in points, looking to get a win to try and get into the chase, try and salvage a position in points. If he can get a win here, he still has a shot to get a second win and get into the chase, but he has to pass the 60 of Michael Sanders, which we have seen has been very hard at Bristol here in the past. Very hard to pass on these short tracks. But Hanley probably wouldn't be afraid to use the bumper. He's a Texan, he's very tough. The car's probably pretty tough, so he could probably handle the bump. Man, he has definitely caught that 60 of Michael Sanders. Sanders was very slow last time by, and Hanley now gets to the back of the 60 car. He'll fall off down the backstretch, should not have a run off of turn number 2 there. A little bit slower and loses the ground he gained. Now it's the front 5 that broken away. Gatlin Downey 3rd, Juan Garcia 4th. Oh, it's actually the front 6 as Isaac Nichols in the 7 and 6 is right behind the 40 of Christian Parker. It's a 6-car breakaways. Look at this. For 8th, Steve Larker trying to get one of his few positions they lost back. Larker going to grab 8th. Jennifer Buford now back to 9th. She might possibly fall to the top 10 in 10th. As the 09 Patrick Smith is there. But can he take advantage down to the bottom lane? Buford did not have a big enough hole to get down low. Smith going to push Buford back to the 10th position. And does she fall outside the top 10 now to 11th as Alexander on the 82 trying to fill that hole down low. Coluigi in the 32 might try and regain some lost ground as well. 82 gets the inside and by. Coluigi now to the inside, so Jennifer Buford starting her fall backwards here. She'll fall back to the 12th position. And she'll fall even more as Jeff Bright in the 5 is coming. Bright has not gotten a win this season. He's looking for his first. It's been kind of consistent. It's been on and off, but he definitely needs a win to get into the chase. He's now up to the 12th position. Emmerich going to be going for 13th in the 51 as Jennifer Buford will fall back to 14th. And probably no more. Wyatt Walker in 15th is a pretty good ways back and probably will not be able to jump to the inside of the 62 of Buford. If she stays up high, he will. But Jennifer, oh, she does go up high that time. But I think she'll be able to keep 14th right there, and she does. Go back up to the race lead. Michael Sanders is now in lap traffic. So we mentioned how lap traffic was going to be an issue. Well, he's caught John West in the 89. He's caught the 22 Jose Fernandez and a bunch of others. This is where Hanley, 2nd, 3rd, all them guys, they're going to try and run down the 60 car. As he's going to have to slow up if he can't get by them. And McDowell, Joe Jefferson, he started the season very well. He's faded here lately. He's hoping for a win sometime before the chase. He's up there in points, so a win would definitely bump his way in over someone with a win possibly back around 20th in points. TJ is closing. That lap traffic definitely slowing that 60 down. It's back there, the battle for 5th. Isaac Nichols moves around Christian Parker. Parker back to 6th. As it's now a 4-car breakaway at the front. Sanders leads. Hanley is 2nd. And then Gatlin Downey 3rd. But he goes off the track. Juan Garcia going to try and go up there and help his TriStar teammate. But Gatlin Downey with a great run off the corner. Clears and keeps 3rd. And I swear if you're Sanders, you're going to have to be patient. If you're TJ, you're going to have to be patient. You don't want to run each other over there and cost both of you the race. But TJ knows what it's like to lose to lap cars. Last season in the Gatorade Cup Series in the Sharpie 500 at Bristol, he led most of the race. And then on a restart, got passed by a lap car behind him and allowed the 18 to get by him. The 18 won. Hanley ended up 2nd. So Hanley knows what it's like to lose to lap cars in these situations. He wants to now be on the other end of it and receive a win from someone losing it on lap cars. But now Sanders isn't really even keeping up with the 89. And the 44 got right to his back bumper there. So maybe the 60 car, the Hanley going away. 15 laps to go. Just a short time left. Sanders trying to hold off Hanley. Downey and Juan Garcia just waiting there in the wings in case something happens. See if Jennifer Buford lost any more ground. She stabilized in 14th. She does stabilize in the 14th position, right behind Roland Emmerich. Meanwhile, Joe San George in the 20 is up to 31st. So he's definitely gained ground. He can gain another position to get to the top 30 as Colton Neal in the 30 is on the outside lane. Eli and Jonathan Buford both go by him. So that could be another position there for San George. Otherwise, I don't think he'll really gain any more. I believe the positions might be set here throughout the field, but you never know. Yeah, well, I say that, and then look at this. Battle for 5th between the 70 and the 40. And then battle for third between the 52 and the 19. 11 laps to go. Sanders trying to lead every lap to get to victory lane here tonight. But he has a hard charging TJ Hanley behind him. Joe Jefferson will lose some ground back here in the 30 car. Fall back to 40th, possibly even 41st as Jose Fernandez moves by him. I believe Joe Jefferson might fall a lap down right here as he's stuck up high. And he will. Sanders going to move to the inside. Trying to get by through 1 and 2. You can see how slow it is with these guys trying to get by them. They really have to take it careful. You're on the edge of control already, and getting around someone even harder. Now it's a big pack behind Sanders, Hanley, and others. Jay Jefferson and Steve Larker have run down this front pack to make it 8 cars. And now the front two get a little bit more breathing room as Christian Parker will move back around Nichols for 5th. That's for a top 5 spot. Jay Jefferson going for 6th in the 1. Larker going to try and get back up to 7th. Down the backstretch, Sanders looks to the inside of the 14, it looks like. That's Hunter Powers, Hanley's teammate. Does Powers try and fight off that 60 and try and give his teammate a shot. 6 laps to go. Hanley with a run through 1 and 2. Right to the back of the 60 car. He could have given him a bump. He decided not to. He played it clean right there. 14 stays out of the 60. 5 laps to go. If the yellow comes out, the race is over. Colton Young's falling back in the 2 car. Joe Jefferson still falling. Sanders sees 4 to go now, trying to lead all 45 laps. But he is slower and up high. Battle for 3rd, Gatlin Downey and Juan Garcia. That's not over. They're still pretty close to this battle for the lead as well. Now 3 laps to go. Hanley going to try and move to the inside right here through 1 and 2. He has a nose. He almost spun him out. Sanders saves the car and blocks Hanley. As Juan Garcia looks for 3rd behind them. Now 2 laps of racing to go. We saw that bump that Hanley gave. Oh, he overdrove turn 1 though. Trying to get run off the top. Come to the white flag this time. Sanders trying to hold him off. Half a mile left. White flag in the air. Sanders trying to dominate and lead. Every lap, he goes up the track. Hanley, if he was close enough, he could have taken advantage. But down the backstretch, this might be Sanders' race. Through 3 and 4. Michael Sanders holds off a hard-charging TJ Hanley to win at Bristol the Sharpie 300. Garcia, Parker, Jefferson, and a whole knot of cars behind round out the finish. Michael Sanders holds off a bump from Hanley, and that was a great job by Sanders there to hold Hanley off. That 44 car was definitely faster, but Sanders did it, even with lap traffic. Let's go check the finishing results. Here are the finishing results from the Sharpie 300 at Bristol. There were no caution flags, and one driver led this race. That was the guy who started on pole. Michael Sanders led all 45 laps in that number 60 car. TJ Hanley, who started 30, ends up 2nd. Very close there at the end. I think he definitely had the faster car, but just could not quite get by that 60. Juan Garcia ends up 3rd, Christian Parker at 4th, and Jay Jefferson rounds out the top 5. They have Steve Larker in 6th, Gatlin Downey 7th, Patrick Smith 8th, Alexander Rowe in 9th, and Isaac Nichols rounds out the top 10. He failed there at the end. So there's your top 20. Jennifer Beeford, the points there, starting 15th, ends up 14th, so decent day for her. She's definitely extended her points over Joe Sandroge in the 20. Sandroge doesn't even finish top 20, ends up in the 30th position, passing Colton Young there at the end to get a position. So Sandrovich, not the race he was looking for after starting the outside in 30 seconds. Surprised he actually gained positions at the end. So tough luck for him. He's going to try and turn this around and get a win to get into the chase, because as of now, it's not looking good. Joe Jefferson, the card to finish 1 lap down. He definitely needs a win as well, as his season is slipping away from him. Let's now go look at the point standings. Here are points after 21 races. We're getting oh so close to this chase. And Jennifer Beeford with that point lead now over 100 points. It's 101 points over Joe Sandroge, who's 2nd. Cole Luigi in 3rd. Jose Fernandez 4th. And Eli Bright in 5th. Then Joe Jefferson in 6th. Jonathan Beeford is 7th. Michael Sanders with that win is up to 8th. Jeff Bright to 9th. And Michael Ferris rounds out the top 10. So there's your top 20. And you think about Joe Sandroge needs to win. Cole Luigi, Jose Fernandez, they're all in the top 5. Win would be huge for them. Would bump their way. And same with Joe Jefferson, who's 6th. Jeff Bright in 9th. Michael Ferris in 10th. So many of these drivers could really use a win right now. Right now, the drivers in: Jennifer Beeford, Eli Bright, Jonathan Beeford, Michael Sanders, Gatlin Downey, Justin Heath, Roland Cook, James O'Carrogan, Isaac Nichols, Jim Gambit. That's 10 in the top 20. As we look down at the rest, Alexander Rowe and Wyatt Walker are the last drivers in. Adam McDowell's out by 1 point as of now. Jake Galloway's only a few behind them. Justin Zeidel is just outside the top 3. He could get another victory. Same with Tim Randolph. Luke Rainey, his chances are almost out now. But you think about it, this could all change in an instant. If that 20 gets to the points, if the 32 gets to the points, if the 22 gets to the points, although I think the 22 is pretty much a stretch now. If, like, say, second or third gets to the points lead, if anyone in the top 20 wins a race, it would definitely move it up more. It's going to be chaos entering these Final Few races for the chase. Everyone needs a win, and they know it, and they're going to do anything they can to win one of these next few races. You talk about winning these next few races. This next one, a legendary track everyone wants to win at. It's the Indianapolis Motor Speedway at the Brickyard, the Indiana 250. See you guys then.